head chef at Goodmans, Olly Bird. Olly, you have an amazing setup and you're only open 9 weeks and the place is flying.
I know, it's come off to a really good start. We've branched out from our first restaurant, which is in Mayfair, and that's a success. And yeah, we're fully booked for lunches and dinners, doing 120, 140. It's more than we could have asked for, really.
And it feels like a very sophisticated steakhouse. All the different varieties of cuts you're using, it's very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, we deal with a lot of American beef from Nebraska, and we also deal with a lot of ribs from the UK. We source our meat around the UK, picking out the best suppliers that we can, and going to see the farms and get down to the farmers, the producers, and actually understand what their product is and what we require from them.
And I know you use a lot of Irish beef. What's the secret to that?
Well, we've got two suppliers. We've got Jack O'Shea and Dara O'Shea, who supply the meat for us, and they're always consistent with their product, always have good marbling of the fat. It's always a nice piece of meat. We let them age it for us. They're the only butchers we let age our meat for us because they understand what they're doing with their meat, and their knowledge behind it is so vast that they treat the meat in the right way.
What's the difference between Irish beef and American and UK beef?
We tend to find that with the UK beef, it's grass-fed all the way, which gives it a deep, earthy flavour. With the Irish beef, they grass-feed it and then they finish it off for 100, 120 days with the grain, which still keeps the depth and flavour, but it gives you a little bit of sweetness at the end when you're eating the steak. And then when you dry age it, because we dry age the beef from Ireland, you get a more intense flavour from your beef with a nice light sweetness at the end. Your American, it comes over wet age, so it sits in the bag. We only dry it for 21 days, so it doesn't dry out so much. You don't get the intensity of the flavour, but you get a sweetness. So you kind of, with the English, you have depth and flavour of the grass, but just a deep, earthy flavour. With the American, you have a light, sweet flavour. But with the O'Shea, you kind of have the best of both worlds. You have a piece of meat which has the deep flavour, but you have the light sweetness that comes through at the end, so you kind of tick all the boxes, if you know what I mean.
I think what I love is seeing the dry aging room in a restaurant. It's fantastic for your customers to see that.
Yeah, I mean, we've got the meat aging room where we dry UK ribs. We've got a window at the front, so from the other side you can see the ribs. You can see how different they are to wet aging when we take them out the bag and dry them for 21 days afterwards. From the customer's point of view, it's like an education coming here. They can understand what they're eating, how it's being stored. It's the overall package, really.
Do you have a special way of cooking it in the kitchen now?
Yeah, we've got 2 Josper ovens, which are Spanish ovens. They run on charcoal.
Okay.
We use 2 English charcoals, one being a briquette just to keep the heat, and 1 South American, which just helps with the flavour. And then we char them on the char grill, keep turning them every 30 seconds, so they've got constantly being flipped over, get a nice char in, nice crusty edge to them, and then it keeps the juices inside, keeps it even cooking, and then when they're cooked, we take them out, clarify butter brushed over the top, and then a bit of rock salt and send it straight away.
So there's no need to let them rest, they go straight out?
We don't rest them at all.
Wow.
We find that they don't bleed too much on the plate either.
That sounds delicious. How do your customers like their meat cooked?
So a lot of them are mediums, medium rare. So personally, I would say no less than a medium rare because you don't get the fat rendering down into it as such.
I see to the customer you bring out a display of cuts.
Yeah, we deal with ribs, porterhouses, T-bones, bone-in sirloins, man steaks, which is like the rump coming off the end of the pistola. So we deal with a lot of different cuts of beef.
That's interesting.
So we bring out a tray with a selection of the beef on that we have on the night's service, just to explain to the customer, show them what a fillet is, bone-in rib, a porterhouse, just so the customer understands.
What's the most popular cut?
The ribeye is the most popular, yeah.
And do you do any slow braise cuts yet?
At the moment we don't. I'm looking sort of coming into the winter period, doing a little bit of racing, maybe some oxtail, braising that down, playing around with some of that. Yeah. But we Josper our steaks and it's a success at the moment. It's a flavour that comes through off the charcoal and the customers love that, so that'll be our main concept.
So it's great to be here and wish you continued success, Olly. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Coming up, ribeye steak with sauce Diane and an autumn